Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
No shortage of people. Delaney's OK Tire in Langley and Aldergrove inbox. I went and saw those guys on the weekend, as a matter of fact. And as always, they took care of me in an outstanding way. No shortage of people saying that we forgot to mention the election.
Yes. Get out there and vote.
Get out there and vote.
Yeah, your vote matters.
Buy a car from Basant Motors, hop in it, and go vote.
Go vote.
All of our guests today are sponsored by Basant Motors. That includes Brandon Astle, standing by. Ready to find your next vehicle? Visit Basant Motors today to experience the difference for yourself. The friendly team looks forward to helping you drive home in the perfect vehicle for your needs and budget. Getting to your destination starts with us. Learn more at Basant Motors, BASANT Motors.com. Abbotsford Canucks, they win Game 3. Got a bit of a scare. Tucson took them to 3 games, but they won Game 3 convincingly over the weekend, 5-0. So they win that best of 3 Calder Cup playoff series, opening round series, 2-1. Abbotsford advances to round 2 of the Calder Cup playoffs against Coachella Valley. Games 1 and 2, Thursday and Saturday in California. The remaining 3 games will be, if necessary, in Abbotsford. Well, Game 3 will definitely be in Abbotsford. Brandon Astle, voice of the Abbotsford Canucks, joining us now. Brandon, thanks for doing this, sir. You're becoming a regular. How are you?
Fellas, doing well. Always a pleasure to come on and chat some Abbey Canucks with you boys.
So you called on Twitter Abbotsford's Game 3 win Saturday clinical and surgical. What was clinical and surgical about it? 5-0.
I mean, it was just such a strong performance from everybody, from the goaltender on out, from Shilovs, who was great, picked up his first Calder Cup playoff shutout. And I will say the first 5 minutes was probably a bit of a nervy start. They didn't get a shot on net until after the 7-minute mark. But after that, boy, they really turned it on. They ended up getting 20 shots on net, Donnie, at the end of the first period. That's the most they had at any period all season long. So you could tell they started to get more comfortable as the first period went along, and got a goal from Tristan Nielsen. And obviously getting that first goal is so important, especially in a do-or-die game like we saw on Saturday. All the guys were dialed in. They were strong in the defensive zone. They played a lot in the offensive zone. That's the best defense, is to play at the other end of the rink. And they put 39 shots on their goaltender, Jackson Stauber, in Game 2. They put 39 shots on him again in Game number 3 and only gave up 21. So it's just one of those dream performances that you hope for. Like, I was driving out to the rink a few hours before the game, and I'm just like, what if they just come out and dominate? And that's exactly what they did. I mean, it was just so great to see. And that's kind of the way they've been playing, Donnie, over the last few weeks. Obviously, we've talked about the 13-game winning streak and all that. And it seems like they were just able to get back to their game plan and stay within their structure and systems and all that. And it paid off in spades with a big 5-0 win.
So Rick wants to ask you about Jonathan Lecker-Mackey, and he'll do that in a second. But first, you mentioned some names there. Sammy Blais, 3 goals, 1 assist in the first round. Arstep Baines, 4 assists. Seelovs, 2 wins. He gets the shutout. Who's leading the way for the Abbotsford Canucks right now?
There's a bunch of guys that are playing well. I mean, Max Sasson was just building and building to Game 3. Like, he's a bit snake-bitten in Games 1 and 2, but like, his speed was on full display the entire series, and he kind of just took over in Game 3. He took the puck from behind the net when it was 0-0 in the first period, made just a strong 200-foot play, just turned on the jets between the blue lines, set up Baines on the left wing, who whipped it cross ice to Nielsen for what was the eventual game winner, and then Max scored in the second period on the power play, so he had a couple of points and looked great. On the back end, I just continue to be impressed with Victor Vancini. Man, I'm so glad they got him in that trade. He looks like a keeper. Obviously, in the AHL, he's probably feeling a bit more comfortable, especially like he's a guy that's played 12 Calder Cup playoff games now, which is, God, you think it might be his first kick of the can playing playoff games in the AHL, but he's kind of a veteran now when it comes to playing in the Calder Cup playoffs. He got a bunch of games in with Hartford before he was traded to Abbotsford, and his skating ability is just unreal. He gets himself and the team out of trouble with the way he can skate. And like this is a guy that's almost 230 pounds. Maybe he is 230 if he had a big breakfast this morning. And just the way like he can navigate in his own end. He's got great offensive instincts. He could have scored a couple in that 3-game series. He was just outstanding from start to finish. And then Sammy Blais, like what more can you say about a guy that has the resume that he does? Still very motivated to get back to the NHL. He's tied for the playoff scoring lead. He had 3 power play goals in that opening round series against Tucson, and just is a calming influence and provides such valuable leadership in that locker room. And I also got to shout out Chase Waters. He's becoming captain clutch. Last year, Donnie, in the first round, and Rick, they were in the same situation in a winner-take-all Game 3 in Colorado against the Eagles. Chase scored the series-clinching overtime winner, and then this past Saturday, he leads the team into the fight again and puts up a goal and assist. So just a guy that's been here since day one. He's such a great leader in that locker room, and to see him get on the board and put up a few points in a huge game number 3 again was just awesome to see.
All right, Lekaramaki, no points in the first 2 games of the playoffs. I don't think he has a point in 7 games, Brandon, since the Canucks sent him down after that Ducks game on that Saturday afternoon. What are you seeing from him or not seeing from him right now?
Yeah, he hasn't really looked himself, Rick, these last few weeks, and he took one up high a couple weeks ago near the end of the regular season and has been wearing the full face shield, so I know that's been bothering him, and then had to sit out in Game 3, unfortunately, just due to the after effects of his oral procedure. So I haven't got a lot of information on that and his availability for this next round, but you can just definitely tell it's been affecting him. He did come close in Game 2. He had a post. He's obviously still was playing a lot, but just kind of missing that, I guess. I don't know. When it comes down to it, he's a guy that could be a game breaker, and just looking to find his confidence again. He's still young. Obviously, put in a big situation in his first couple Calder Cup playoff games. It can be tough to kind of adapt and get used to the pace. But yeah, we'll see what happens here in his availability for round 2. Hopefully, he can come back and find his game again.
You can't go far in the playoffs without goaltending. Seelov's with the shutout in Game 3. That was really good to see. But how's he been so far in the playoffs?
Yeah, he's been excellent, and I guess there was a little chatter on what Coach Malhotra might do going into the decisive Game 3, because Shelov started back-to-back Game 1 and Game 2, which he only did once all year, and he always kind of have reservations when you start a goalie on consecutive nights, but Shelovs is a guy that is made for these big game situations. I mean, at this time last year, he was starting in the Stanley Cup playoffs for Vancouver, led them past Nashville in round 1, took Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl to Game 7. So what's like a Game 3 in the first round of the Calder Cup playoffs to him, right? Then you go back even the year before, leading Latvia to their first bronze medal and being the tournament MVP there. So he is someone who has that ability to step up in big game situations. And there were some points in Game 3 where Tucson was starting to push, and Shelovs was that calming influence, made some big saves, and didn't let a single puck by him. Just looked comfortable all night, and obviously it seems like Manny has chosen his guy for the playoffs, and you can't go wrong with the resume that he has.
Rick says that Manny Malhotra should be a strong candidate to take over from Rick Tocchet if he indeed leaves the Vancouver Canucks. Do you think he's ready?
You know what, Donnie? I think he is. Like, this is a guy that is familiar with the organization. He started as an assistant with Vancouver, so he's coached Quinn Hughes. I know Rick's been going on about that. Quinn Hughes and Manny obviously have a relationship, and Manny's looking to get to the NHL as a head coach. Like, he's not coming down to the American Hockey League, where he had a pretty good job with the Toronto Maple Leafs, to go back to the NHL as an assistant, right? Like, he's looking for a head coaching gig at some point, hopefully here in the near future. Just seeing what he's done in his first year as head coach in Abbotsford. Since day one, his message has been the same. It's never wavered. It's always very process driven. Obviously, winning is important, but it's the same thing is just as important as developing these players. And like you guys have talked about it all year on your show, I've said it all year on my broadcast, like the development that we've seen in Abbotsford this year has been the best we've ever seen from a Vancouver Canucks affiliate. I talked to Ryan Johnson a few weeks ago, and he agreed the pipeline has never been stronger. And Manny is a big reason why. I mean, 16 players played for the Vancouver Canucks and Abbotsford Canucks this year. And for Abbotsford to have a franchise record-breaking season with 44 wins and having that 13-game winning streak with a third of the roster up in Vancouver, it's just unreal what he's been able to do in his first year. And I think he's got a bright future as a head coach of the NHL.
Okay, Brandon, and by the way, it's nice to see the folks in Abbotsford. The crowd looked great on Saturday, keeping alive a Vancouver Canuck tradition with the white towels. But if people can't make it out to Abbotsford, where can they catch your play-by-play for people who don't know, Brandon?
Yeah, so Sportsnet 650 has picked up the Abbotsford Canucks playoff games. So I will be boots on the ground Thursday, game 1 in Palm Springs. I mean, Donnie, I just looked at the weather, 35 degrees on Thursday. And we're going to have a professional hockey match in Palm Springs.
Nice.
We thought that
Yeah.
a few years ago, a big playoff series with a very good Coachella Valley Firebirds team who are the defending Western Conference champions 2 years in a row. This is going to be a heck of a series. I can't wait. So you could catch the action on Sportsnet 650. And if you want to watch it through HL TV and Flow Hockey Online.
Brandon, thanks so much. We'll probably get you on in a couple of days. Thanks so much for this, Brandon. Appreciate it.
Hey, maybe I'll be on my patio in 35-degree heat, sipping like a nice coffee or something. I'd love to chat to you boys there.
All right.
Just rub that in, Brandon. Attaboy. Thanks, Brandon. Appreciate it. Okay.